Hi everyone, Dave Milliken here. That was a little taste of Superman's Song by the Crash Test Dummies. And today I'm going to teach you how to play it. And if you'd like to hear the song, me playing the song all the way through, you can click on the link in the description below. And let me just tell you before we start, I have a capo at the 5th fret. That's because Brad Roberts' voice is so low that I have to make the song a little bit higher so that I can sing it. If you want to put it in the original key, you just have to drop that capo from fret 5 down to fret 3. So I'll teach it this way with the capo at the 5th fret, and after you've learned the song, you can just put the capo wherever works best for your voice. I'd like to start by teaching the verse. We'll circle back to the intro later on in the video. So the verse sounds like this. Tarzan wasn't a ladies' man. He just come along and scoop him up under his arm like that, quick as a cat in the jungle. So we're starting off on a C chord. And the pattern that I'm using keeps coming back again and again throughout the song. So you start with your thumb on the bass note of the chord, which in this case is the 5th string, the A string. Then your index on the 4th. And then middle and ring together on strings 3 and 2. And then back to the 4th string with the index. So slow motion. And then it immediately moves to a G chord. For that, all you really need to hold down is that 3rd fret of the E string. That's your bass note. Then again, string 4 with the index, strings 3 and 2 with middle and ring, and back to the index. So we put those two together. That bar repeats 4 times to start off the verse. Tarzan wasn't a ladies' man. He just come along and scoop him up under his. And then we move to an E minor chord. Same picking as you just did on the G. So thumb on string 6, index on 4, middle and ring together, 3 and 2, and back to string 4, index. So that moves to a D chord. I'm doing maybe slightly unusual voicing of a D here, which looks like this. Same picking as you did on the C. Now, if you find that voicing a bit hard to get to, you can just use a normal D there as well. If you're doing that, you'll need to shift your picking pattern down a string. So you would have thumb on the 4th string, which is the bass note of the open D chord, index on string 3, middle and ring on strings 2 and 1, and then back to the index. So that coming from the E minor would sound like this. My way would sound like this. So use whichever option you prefer. And then the next bar is E minor to D as well. So that will be like that, quick as a cat in the... And then we're moving to an A minor 7. Sounds like this. Again, the same kind of picking pattern, this time starting on string 5. And here you can do an alternating bass pattern if you want. Since we're on the A minor 7 for the whole bar, you'll have the pattern twice. And the second time, instead of playing the same A bass note, you can go to the alternate bass note for that chord, which is the E over here on the 6th string. So you go string 5, and then 6. creates a little bit of variation. You could also just stay on the A if you want for both. And then in the following bar, we're moving to the D again, whichever way you want to do it. I'm doing it like this. And since we're there for a whole bar, I'm going to use the alternate bass note on the D chord, which is the open A, which I get by lifting my pinky like that. And so I can hit the open A there. So we get A minor 7, alternating, D, alternating. So if you're playing the open D and you want to alternate, it's just the normal way. And then bring your thumb over to the A string for the beginning of the second time. Like that. Then you'll do that whole chord progression again to finish off the verse. But Clark Kent, now there was a real gent. He would not be caught sitting around in no jungle scape, dumb as an ape, doing nothing. Let me take a second to let you know that I have tabs available for the song. So if you'd like a nice PDF that you can display on a tablet or print out, you'll be able to work through the song at your own speed, and you can just click on the link in the description below to find those tabs. Then we get to the chorus, which sounds like this. Superman never made any money for saving the world from Solomon Grundy. Sometimes I despair the world will never see another man like him. We're starting with a bar of C. Do the normal pattern first. And then you can use the alternate bass note, which for C is the G here. So you're just lifting your third finger and placing it on string 6. So we have the normal bass note, and then the alternate. That moves to a D chord, whichever way you're doing it. One time. And then we move to something a little bit different. This is a couple of passing chords, which will take us into the G. The first chord, you don't need a hand for, it's just these open strings. You'll hit thumb and middle at the same time on strings 6 and 3. So that's thumb here, middle on 3, and then follow that with the index finger. So you get, then it moves to a D over F sharp. You'll need your first finger on the 2nd fret of string 6 and your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of string 3. You'll play those two together. That's again thumb and middle. And then follow that up with your index on string 4. So putting those two together. And you can hear that climbing up, and that's going to finish on the G. So you get this nice rise into the G chord. So here's that bar arriving on the G. And you could also skip those passing chords if you want. Just play the D twice and go directly to the G. Put those two bars together. Superman never made any money for saving. The next bar starts on the G. And then a similar kind of climb. This time we're climbing from the G up to a C. So you'll notice that the bass notes here are going to move G, A, B, C for a nice climb. From the G we move to an A minor 11 chord. You just need that first finger on the 2nd string 1st fret. And the picking here is thumb on string 5 and then middle and ring also at the same time on strings 3 and 2. So all 3 of those notes at the same time. Followed by the index. And and then we move to a G over B. That's second finger on the second fret of the A string and pinky on the third fret of the B string. And you're picking those same strings, string 5, string 3, string 2 at the same time, followed by the index on string 4. So those two together. And here's the pattern from the G to the C. And again, if you want to make it easier, just stay on the G for the whole bar, skip the passing chords, you get G, G, into the C. When we arrive on the C, it's the normal pattern, and then the alternate bass note. And the vocal on that, saving the world from Solomon Grundy. In the next bar, we're moving from a G to a C. Same thing again. Put those two together. Sometimes I despair the world will never see another. And then we're moving to the D. So that's just moving back and forth between the normal D and then the D over A, a D chord with an A bass note that we get by lifting that finger. Sometimes I despair the world will never see another man like him. Okay, now let's circle back to learn that intro, because it's based on all the things you just learned for the chorus. All those climbs from the D up to the G and then from the G up to the C, those are all in the intro as well. Here's the intro. So we start by moving from the C to the G twice. C, G, C, G. Then we move up to the D, and we're going to add that climb that's going to take us to the G. There's your one pattern on the D, then your climb, E minor 7, D over F sharp, into the G chord. And this time we stay on the G a bit longer. You're there for a bar and a half, 3 patterns. 1, 2, 3, and then the climb, which takes us to the C that starts the verse. Okay, so now you know the intro, the verse, the chorus. So the form of the song, start with the intro, then you have verse, chorus, then you're gonna do another verse and another chorus, and then we move to the bridge, which is a bit different, so let's tackle that. First part of the bridge sounds like this. Tarzan was king of the jungle and lord over all the apes. So that's E minor, moving to D, twice. Then C for a bar. I'm not doing the alternation there, but you could. And then G, D. E minor, D, E minor, D, C, C, G, D. The rest of the bridge. But he could hardly string together 4 words. I, Tarzan, you, Jane. So again, it's E minor, D 2 times. Then then C to G 2 times. And then D for 2 bars. I'm doing the alternation here. After the bridge, you'll do another verse, another chorus. And then to wrap the song up, it just does the end of the chorus slightly differently. So the last part of the chorus, which was, sometimes I despair the world will never see another man like him. For this last chorus, we're going to repeat that part vocally, but the chords change slightly underneath so that instead of the G chord to the C, it's an E minor to the C. So, sometimes I despair the world will never see another man like him. And then I finish off just on a D sus2, which you can play up here. It's 5 frets from the capo, puts it at the 10th fret if the capo's on 5. And you could also finish on whatever D chord you're playing at the end there. If you're just doing the open D, you can just finish on that. Would sound fine too. Sometimes I despair the world will never see another man like him. And you notice the other thing to do at the end there is slow down. So when I get to the bar before the last chord, I'm starting to slow down. Okay everyone, I hope this video helps you get the song under your fingers. And don't forget, you can hear me play the song all the way through by clicking on the link in the description below. And once you have the song down, you could try to play along with that. Just remember, a capo with the 5th fret for that, capo with the 3rd fret for Crash Test Dummies version. And I've got lots of other videos on my site, covers and tutorials, so check some of those out as well. My name's Dave Milliken. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again soon.